just going to provide a bit of a background on the screen. So this is with, we're creating this with support from the WES Mariam Assefa Fund. That's been our funder for the full project. So Digital Champions is a pilot that's currently in development for the second phase of our project, which is entitled Envisioning the Future of the Immigrant Serving Sector. In the first phase, which began in January 2021, the ACS Metropolis Institute began conducting nationwide research to discover how to strengthen the sector so that it's more responsive, collaborative, innovative, and sustainable. And so we currently now are in pilot development phase. So we're sort of phase 2 right now. The implementation, the development and implementation is taking place between May 2022 and June 2023. We have our Digital Champions pilot. We also have a pilot on community of practice on alternative funding approaches for the Canadian settlement sector. So we're happy to also take questions on this at the end, because we'd also be looking for partners in this area, as the sector is greatly in need of funding diversification for many reasons, and it's definitely of interest within the sector. So those two key areas. Still, for some background, our ongoing research has and is continuing to engage both newcomers, service provider staff, academics, consultants, IRCC staff, and more. We've had a mixed methods approach, so with surveys, focus group discussions, and key informant interviews. And we invite you to visit our website, as we've published several reports throughout. So research from the first phase of our project found that there was a need for increased digital literacy within the sector. It's being recognized as a social determinant of health, as it provides access to the very basic service information, for example, related to healthcare, housing, jobs, and it can be really be very life-changing to have your digital literacy skills improved. And of course, through the pandemic, the sector pivoted to fully virtual and/or hybrid service delivery. So it's very crucial that we now address, and we have all these newcomers coming into the country, like the new trends in immigration. We're going to be welcoming so many new people. It's very crucial to address the needs of these newcomers, as within vulnerable populations, refugees, asylum seekers, seniors, newcomers in communities with limited access, within low income brackets, and so forth. So about Digital Champions, it's actually quite simple and also not so simple, because I'll say what's not so simple about it afterwards, but it's a peer-to-peer approach to digital inclusion. It's a train the trainer model. So it's definitely very scalable, and it's a proven model that was pioneered in the UK. So overall, it's a research-informed approach to addressing digital inclusion, including using trusted intermediaries to provide support with digital skills as part of wider holistic support. So these champions are, they're usually frontline staff and volunteers, oftentimes working in nonprofits. They don't need to be digital experts, which is key. They just need to be patient communicators with a commitment to helping the people they stand alongside. And our Digital Champions pilot is just for the settlement sector, although we know that it can be scalable to people who work very closely adjacent to settlement providing organizations. So we have two great partners. The first one, the one that we're working with first, is Mhor Collective. They're helping us co-design. They help us lead a lot of, they're going to be helping us lead a lot of our meetings and guiding us in designing materials. And they're based in Scotland. Our other partner is GEO Nova Scotia. So they're a new nonprofit organization in Halifax, Nova Scotia. They seek to serve the entire province, and their near-term goals are to help people get more technology, internet access, and skills they need to be online, to learn as much as they can about how to best deliver that support, and to cultivate a broad multi-sector network of partners to develop and deliver projects and programs that ensure digital inclusion for all. So, and they also began over the pandemic, so where they were distributing devices to those in need and who were cut off from many services. So here we have someone saying, before the pandemic, I could access the internet at libraries and other public spaces. It made me feel like a second-class citizen. when that was all taken away, I didn't feel like a citizen at all. So it just goes to show, how much this can be taken for granted. Our timeline, as I mentioned, is between May 2022 and June 2023. However, we really hope that these pilots are sustainable, that they have like a legacy beyond the end date. We have a soft launch in Nova Scotia in September, and we'd like to start scaling out to the rest of Canada in November. So currently, we're in the project rollout with service provider organizations in Nova Scotia with the goal of scaling out to all of Canada. Our partners include iSense, YMCA. We have a big group there, the Halifax Partnership, Cape Breton Partnership, and others. We hope to expand. Our first co-design meeting was held on the 7th of June, and our second co-design meeting was held today. And it was quite a fruitful discussion. So the goal of these co-design meetings is to tailor the UK's Digital Champions framework to the Canadian landscape and audience. And we seek to, for example, modify digital assessment tools. That's what we started doing today, which include, and they overlap, foundational skills such as turning on devices, internet connection, password updates, and more. Life skills, social media, friends and family, soft skills online, communicating to others, with others to accomplish tasks, and then work skills. So using communications tools and platforms such as Microsoft Teams, Slack, Zoom, and so forth. So it's highly tailored. It has to be, in order for it to work, it has to be highly tailored to the settlement provider landscape in the regions that we're going to be working in. So starting with Nova Scotia and the key related services, it's highly contextual. We seek to standardize it as best as possible. And a really big part of this too is to pool resources together for the myriad services newcomers need, such as access to social workers, hospitals and health access, housing info, mental health, social workers. I already said that above the first point, schools, and the many other, adjacent services that are so important.